Okay, since I spoke about the creativity, I'm gonna do a free style video this time without the script. So in general, I'm like thinking constantly each day about everything I was talking about previous videos, about the creative crisis and about artistic expression. So I'm just gonna tell from my personal experience and from my personal perspective what was keeping me away from doing kinda more experimenting in my own music. So let's start from the beginning. So usually there's this fashion or trend that myself as an artist, if I can call myself that way, and myself as an e-clip. So usually there's a certain moment where I have a certain ideas or certain specific style of the music, which I kind of like in a specific moment, and then I make several tracks like that. So people get used to it and people expect something similar from it. Every time I was trying to do something different, like I did with my track Akasha, where I created like a progressive house track, which is released on Juf recordings. You can just search for it and listen to it. Somehow you can hear that it's still e-clip, like the sounds, the atmospheres, the decision makings are very similar, even though the track is completely different. So I got a call from all of my very successful artist friends with the statement like, oh, you should be creating another project for this type of the music. So for me, usually, this is always a big stop when I want to express myself in a different way. So I was building might say followers or listeners or whatever, it doesn't matter, but it's we all know that it's very hard to find your audience today because there's so many music and we get bombarded every single day with so many informations on many different networks, etc., etc. So every time I think about creating a new project, I have like the pain in my stomach. I feel anxious and I really don't want to go forward with all of that stuff. I feel myself and I feel the best when I'm in studio, when I create, and especially if that moment is working, I feel very relaxed and kinda being in a position where I want to be. So every time I need to have a new release, or for each project, if I need to have another Instagram page, another Facebook page, another SoundCloud profile, another this and that, and TikTok and YouTube channel and everything, I start feeling anxious. So this is for me usually to make a stop. So I get always advised by the, I would say, professionals from the industry that this is a very big problem, that you should never release a different type of the music as in your name as an e-clip, because it's gonna create a confusion. People are gonna start speculating. Are you making a different type of the music? Someone will not like it, etc., etc. The promoters will get very confused about it, where you're gonna play, what you're gonna play, etc., etc. So every time I was creating something different, this is now everything's from my personal perspective, and the reason I'm making this video is because I want to hear what you have to say about all of this. So the main question about this video is how most of you feel about if I create a different type of the music or something out of the box and release it under the e-clip. Is this okay, or I need to create another project, run another Instagram and whatsoever, find a different label, or you know, like everything that comes with that. So artist development is becoming very hard lately. Running all this stuff, being active on social media, creating a very interesting, doing all the managements, being parts of the agencies whatsoever. So there's a tons of the work which is very administrative, not that much creative. Many very good artists are not succeeding on the scene because they just are not able to do all of this stuff by themselves. They don't enjoy it, and many amazing artists have left the scene just because of this reason. And I know many of them personally, so it's not a blunt story. I can give you many examples, but I trying to follow this trend that I don't mention this much names on my YouTube channel. I don't want to get not the problems. I just don't want to blow up the steam about something and then need to spend a lot of time in explaining what did I mean. And this video is a freestyle, so I didn't think about it that much, and I want to be very careful about certain things, and mostly it's mentioning the names. But you can definitely see that there are some artists, specifically from Psyprog, scene that were like maybe one of the best or the most respected artists in the scene, that they disappeared and then they don't make any new music. This is because they left the scene and they were not well to play this game, and they didn't enjoying it in doing it, and also in order for hiring someone else to do this part of the job for you, I don't think there's enough of the financial elements in the Psytrance scene to support all of that. In techno scene, the prices for big names are very higher. So this is something I did like completely out of the box, and this idea started because I had this in my mind, like I just had this rhythm going on, so I started with the kick and the bass. What I did here, I didn't use even one specifically Psytrance element for the drum sections, and I know that some we're gonna put this in a basket of some type of the genre, let's say techno or whatever it is. I'm guessing there's going to be tons of the ways to put everything in the basket. So the reason for making this is, do we need to put the tags next to our work? Like, do we need to put it in a specific basket, and who is the one who's gonna decide? Is it a techno or it's a, I don't know, whatever it is. So I did use like something that I would never do, but this is something I'm thinking for quite a while now, to use non-Psytrance elements to create what I would usually create. But let's say maybe these different types of the kicks and the basses and whatsoever are going to lead me to some different place. This track is definitely inspired by the older Psytrance. Let's say Psytrance, even though at that time, like the bridge in between techno and Psytrance were way closer, while today it's kind of separated. Maybe hard techno is now creating that bridge again, but this is a specific type of the techno music as well. Anyway, so this is E-Clip out of the box. Okay guys, shoot in the comments what do you think about the track, and also what I said before I played the track.